Hello and welcome to reInvent 2024. My name is Jay. I'm super excited to be here.
And I'm Stephen Hevern. We're regular hosts of Repost Live here on Twitch. But today we're going to be looking at what, Jay?
A number of announcements that we're super excited about. I know a lot of my customers, myself, super excited about some of the announcements. So I definitely want to dive into a number of the announcements that definitely have my interest. Steve, let's start with the purchase plan analyzer. This is something that I'm very excited about.
Yeah, I'm also excited about it. We got a few of these with Cloud Financial Management, and we've got a question from Andre T. I'm not going to read his question verbatim. It's long, but I think it summarizes the complexity that our customers face and we as technical account managers face in dealing with savings plans and understanding the purchase and stuff that need to be made. So what is it that Savings Plan Analyzer really helps us with here?
Yeah, so often we hear customers have a lot of trouble in forecasting and applying and really optimizing their savings plan commitments, right? And whether it's a 1 or a 3 year commitment, it's something that you certainly want to get right on the first time, right?
Yep.
So the purchase analyzer allows customers the ability to model their next savings plan purchase and see how it really impacts their coverage, their utilization across their compute that they're consuming in AWS.
And I think more than what we've gotten like before, where this really kind of solves some of that problem there is it gives you a lot of flexibility to customize things like the dates, being able to exclude different savings plans that are active.
Yes.
So that it allows you to model that with the custom dates and stuff. You can find those ranges where you have that spend that really kind of is going to reflect where you're going with that and to be able to model those purchases. So I think a lot of that kind of pulls that together. It's a really great addition. It's going to make it a lot easier for our customers to be able to model that stuff out.
Yeah, I have customers that have developed their own sort of IP around getting this right? And now having this uniquely available in the console is going to be super cool. I think staying in that vein, another announcement that I'm excited about for many of my FinOps folks out there is the invoice config.
Yes.
I think this is also going to be something that will allow some of my, cloud financial management folks to really nail in here.
Yeah, and it may not be. It may be something that is not exactly sexy to some people, but I've got a customer with it. What you can do. Let's talk about what can you do with invoice config. So what does that allow you to do?
Yeah. So in a perfect world, right? You wouldn't have. You'd have maybe one master and one member account, and you'd get one bill, and it wouldn't be that complicated.
Right.
But we know that not to be true, right? We have customers that through AWS organizations have consolidated billing enabled. They have a number of member accounts, and be it through acquisition or you name it, right? They need an ability to charge back or apply their own unique internal FinOps practices to those member accounts, right? And something that's not super complicated, maybe not using some complex logic or cost categories for everything and every use case, right? And this may be able to help some of those customers be able to apply this use case.
Exactly. I had a customer who was a VP of their cloud operations. He'd have the finance group coming to him every month, asking questions, coming to me, saying, help me understand this so I can explain that to my finance teams and how they can apply what the usage is in AWS back to those invoices. So you can now take those accounts, put those groupings together, and that align with your business, align with how you need to invoice back within your organization. And you can also tie that back to the different POs and purchase orders. So I think, we had cost allocation tags before, which kind of started the story there, getting you there. And this kind of takes you the rest of that way.
Yeah, I think this is going to be super helpful. Again, anything that we can make FinOps and AWS more simplistic, I think is much appreciated.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we're going to pivot now to some of the other launches that we have, moving over to the security realm. We've got a question here because one of the new launches is on security incident response. And from our repost community, Shrikant is asking, how is security incident response different from IDR, incident detection response? When would I use one over the other? So Jay, what's the difference here, and how does this launch really kind of help our customers?
Yeah, so we announced Security Incident Response, a new service to help customers really expedite any of these security instances that they may experience, right? These are unfortunate experiences, of course. You want to really be able to nail in your mean time to detection, mean time to resolution for any of these type of issues, right? And we have a specialized team internally, the CERT team, I believe they go by, their customer incident response team, right? And so the new security incident response offering will really allow customers to adopt a more seamless and automated process to engage that team during these type of instances.
And I think the one thing to understand there is it's helping you kind of put that together, understand what is incidents, what you need to alert on, and then being able to, as you say, reduce that mean time to escalate, to raise that incident up so that you can get those experts from the CERT team involved more quickly. They understand the workload and what you're running and what to look at. And so the other thing I think about that as well is to know that you're not alone, right? That you've got this team of experts that's going to be there with you, helping you through this stuff, and really kind of taking some of that weight and burden off of you when you do have an incident. Know that you've done that work up ahead of time, that you have that path to execute kind of really quickly there.
Yeah, so we had a lot of our customers that wanted direct kind of access or line of sight to this team, right? They wanted an ability to pick up the phone and engage this team more specifically when these instances happen, right? Because time matters when these incidents happen.
And as well, companies don't have the ability to have lots and lots of, huge security teams at the ready, waiting to jump in, right? You want to be able to pull that expertise in when you need it, leverage it when you need it. And this is, I think, a really great way for our customers to be able to do that.
Yeah, and you can initiate this through third parties and the tools that you may already leverage through GuardDuty, Security Hub, etc. So I'm super excited.
That's a good call out. Third-party services, if you're a customer using those things, you can pull those in as well to kind of feed into that, which is a great call out. Staying in the security area, we've got one of the other really cool areas that I'm excited about is the GuardDuty extended threat detection. Starting that off, we've got a question from CyberSage23, and they're asking, how is GuardDuty with AI tools different from the GuardDuty that we have now?
Yeah, so the recent announcement, right, is around, and I answer this by saying it's really an extension of, right? The threat detection landscape is ever more complex, and so embedding more AI and ML into GuardDuty is really going to help customers navigate some of these more complex threats that they face in a modern cloud environment.
And I think what it does is you can have different signals in there, right? And what this is doing is pulling together different activities, different actions, things that may be a weak signal or not a signal at all, an event that you might see and look at on its own and say that's nothing, right? Correlating those different activities and be able to say that it is actually together, these activities make up a strong signal. This is now a critical finding and something that you need to act on. And it's also being able to apply some of that ML, natural language, to put this into human understandable context and terms as to the seriousness and criticality of that threat. An actor isn't going to just do one thing and that's going to raise the alert. An actor is going to do multiple steps. They're going to go, target this system. They're going to maybe escalate permissions over here, do some probing over here, and it's
exfiltration here. or harvesting over here, API manipulation over there.
And the volume of findings and things that companies face in terms of this realm, it's hard to sift through that, and to have something that's going to help you bring that together and correlate those signals into something meaningful and focus your team's attention. I think this is a great addition to this. It also aligns with the MITRE ATT&CK framework, as well as our best practices and recommendations for remediation and things like that. So, that's I'm really excited to see this. I'm really excited for our customers to start using this feature.
Absolutely. I think there's going to be some more sessions, I'm sure, around this. It's a hot topic.
Yeah, I think we have a deep dive session coming up on here on Wednesday, where they're going to get into this more deeper. So if you want to know more about this, tune in on Wednesday when our experts are going to dive much deeper into this topic.
Absolutely.
So with just a few minutes left, we're going to round out the last few of our launches, and I think we're going to talk about here Kubernetes. It's not something that I'm very strong in, so I'm hoping you're going to take lead on this. And we've got another question from CyberSage about this, or they want to know basically, when would they use hybrid nodes? They've been using it they've got on-prem, they've got connectivity to AWS, and so hybrid nodes, one of these new features. So what is that new feature here?
Having connectivity is pretty key. Here, I'll say pretty concisely, right? Some of the customers I work with who need access or run and maintain Kubernetes today, but they run and maintain that on premises. Today, their options are effectively Outposts, running Kubernetes on an Outpost rack, or Kubernetes through EKSA, right? And so depending on a customer's appetite maybe for management and cost, that more or less is going to be the decision tree as to whether or not they're going to leverage Outposts or EKSA for their on-premises environments. So think gaming or any of your low latency type use cases, or you have a lot of regulatory environments, right, where they need to run Kubernetes on premises for an air-gapped type environment, right? So those are typically the type of customers that I'm working with, and we're really there's a need here, right, for customers who may want some of the management that you might get through Outposts. They don't want to be full-blown Kubernetes admins that you may have to be an EKSA consumer, right? That's a customer-managed, AWS-supported Kubernetes solution today.
And I think, too, as well, like what this is giving you and what this is filling in with is giving you that visibility across those environments. I've got my stuff on-prem, whether I'm running on VMware or Nutanix, right? And as well as what I'm running in AWS, I can now have this visibility across those things. And you had mentioned stuff like Outposts, right? There's also local zones that we have. I've got some betting and gaming customers, right, that have regulatory needs. They need to have those workloads in certain locations or close to where they need for different purposes. So I think this is really kind of adding on to what we've been building out in the AKS framework and landscape.
It's all about options, right? We have a number of use cases, a number of customers, and whether you're using EKS with Fargate or you're managing Kubernetes on-prem through EKSA, hybrid nodes is going to be an addition to what Kubernetes offerings we have today.
And I think this last one that we've got is still in EKS. It's the auto mode. And instead qualification is asking, will auto mode handle things like right-sizing, optimizing the compute as well? Auto mode is one, I'm not a big containers person, but this is one that I'm excited for because I think what this does is it brings up the undifferentiated heavy lifting on managing some of this stuff. So what else can we tell people about this new launch?
So we're using some of the principles of Carpenter, which I'm sure a number of Kubernetes consumers are used to today. But auto mode is really meant to really provide customers that managed experience that they may be after, right? So they can reduce some of the operational burden that they may face today with EKS and really kind of up level in the shared responsibility, right? They only have to worry about their network. They only have to worry about their application. We'll handle everything from compute and some of the optimization there to the KA plugins, et cetera, right?
Yep.
So,
and with that, I think we're just about out of time today. We've got plenty of more exciting announcements coming from reInvent here this week. So stay tuned, keep listening. Let us know on repost what the what you're excited about. Let us know with that tag reInvent, and we'll cover that question later this week with more of the announcements to come. Jay,
absolutely. Happy building, everybody. Enjoy reInvent.
see ya.